Yo, yo, mic check, mic check. What's the word? What's going on? How's everybody feeling today? Let me know how the audio is too. I know sometimes I have to adjust the audio and whatnot. So let me know if you guys hear echo. Anything else, man. I'm trying to get this audio straight, man, until I change these settings up a bit. What's going on, Christine? What's the word? How you feeling today? What's up? What's up? So today, if you didn't know, well, first of all, Monday was an interesting day. You guys kind of saw how that turned out, man. A lot of information going on. SVB and a couple other banks kind of in trouble. Bailouts coming in, money getting thrown around the market, Bitcoin, Ethereum flying. We're now retracing. I actually put a short in towards the top, and I actually took profits from that and put another short in. But yeah, looks like we're gonna come down a bit more, possibly. Kind of want to see where we're gonna settle in at. Maybe we use the top of this channel that we were at previously and kind of keep going, but we'll kind of play it by ear and kind of see what we're doing. Also, we got the space in 30 minutes from the Bulls and Apes project. They will be going over their tokenomics and a couple other really cool things and aspects about the actual business. So yeah, get to see what's going on with the Bulls and Apes project and what's going to be happening next with that project. I'm really interested to see what's going on. All right, I had to turn it down a little bit. Had a bit of an echo. Wasn't feeling the echo, but otherwise, let me know how the audio is doing for you guys. I don't want to overwhelm you guys with the audio. But yeah, we will be checking in with the Bulls and Apes project in about 29 minutes or so. We'll check into their space. You guys already know what it is. We'll sit, we'll chill. They'll go over the alpha, any changes that are made to the project and or ecosystem, and we'll be able to chat about it live here. You guys can chat in the chat, ask any questions that you guys are confused about. We can go over some different stats beforehand. Once I'm going to touch on the market briefly, since we only get about 28 minutes or so. We'll touch on the market, then from the market we'll graduate into NFTs, kind of look at what some of these floor prices are currently at right now, look at some of the opportunities that we have in play. Then you know what I mean, we'll kind of roll into the actual tankonomics, all of the information that they'll be providing. It looks like they have turned on the feature to be able to pair your apes also to your assets. I don't know which assets you'll be able to do it with. If there'll be limitations at first, maybe just OGs and teens at first, maybe to drive a little bit of volume in that area. Then we'll have like the tokenized communities integrated also possibly. So you never know. But what's going on, Hambone? Definitely appreciate every time that you're inside of the building, man. You guys are wonderful. Definitely appreciate it. Hambone says hashtag Flight Club, hashtag minting winners, hashtag meth rewards, hashtag Royal Rumble, all things that we do inside the Flight Club, trying to get it in. Eddie T in the building. Smash that like button, sub, all that good stuff, man. Love it here. I am stuck at work doing overtime. We don't even worry about it, man. You know, this is the earlier time. Hopefully you're out of work by the time we get to that Twitter space, because I think we're gonna have a lot of different things to discuss, or maybe just the overall sentiments of what we can be looking at going forward. So we'll like I said, play it by ear and see what's going on. Once again, hey Christine, yo, what's up? How you feeling today? Grind time, what's up? What's up, Flight Crew? What's the word, man? How you feeling? And definitely, as Christine said, smash that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you guys want some additional brownie points. I definitely appreciate anybody that's tuning in, kind of rocking with us right this second. It is always a pleasure to be here with you guys, you know what I mean? Kind of going through some different things and whatnot. So let's get into the overall market first. I feel like that's the best first stop. I'm almost finished with like reconstructing my damn screen to add myself in, so I will be present. I believe tomorrow. I gotta ask my girl if she ever finishes. I got some cool weird stuff going on in my hair right now. Let's hit this, bam. All right, let's home through this market, see what we got. Put a refresh on it. All right, so we had a bit of a run up within the last 72 48 hours or so after a pretty massive dip. So we'll definitely probably be seeing some type of correction, which we're already seeing a little bit of a correction. It got up to almost 1800. We got into the lane of where we needed to be. We just needed to kind of find support and remain in that area, which unfortunately we did not really kind of reach that target. We had a couple times to where if we go back into that range that we may probably strengthen those levels of support and resistance in that aspect, but I don't think we kind of did it enough, and I'll show you the chart and kind of tell you why I got to that. But as of right now, like I said, we're using the top of the previous channel as a support level. I don't know if we're gonna break back into it. Depends on volume and what we really get for rate hikes also. So currently we are looking at a $24,523 Bitcoin 24-hour period of about 1.3% with the slight retrace that we've seen in the market. Ethereum sitting at $1,693 currently right now, with the previous downtrend that took us underneath 1,700. So it says it's up about 0.5% right now on a 24-hour period. Keep in mind those percentages do reset, so that's probably why it's actually a little bit lower. Bitcoin and Ethereum have ran a significant amount within a week period of time. Let's actually bag it up and see how much we've gotten on the week. So on a 7-day period, we're looking at 10%. Keep in mind that the week just really started, so we're really early in the week to see 8 and 10% gains on these cryptocurrencies. Then we got BNB coming in at $307 right now. XRP 37 cents. Cardano not looking too bad at 34. Matic actually had a little bit of a downtrend, but the entire market's kind of pulling back a little bit, retracing from the amount of volume that we had come in. So we'll see how it works out. Dogecoin 7 cents, almost 7.5 cents. Solana $20 right now. Shiba not looking bad, not really too much motion in the chart, but we'll check out that. Let's Crow, looking at Crows, it's about 7 cents or so, not really a whole bunch of motion in there. What's going on, Mika 4? What's up? What's the word? Bitcoin went crazy today on the reversal. Yeah, most definitely. I think it's at its level now. It'll go back up. My guess, could be wrong. Okay, I mean, we'll check out the logistics. It could be I mean, it did calm down. This will be a really solid setup for if it is a situation to where, you know what I mean, it does use the previous level of support that has been created. Not that it wasn't created beforehand, because we still were locked inside of that channel, what kept us at that range. But if it comes down to where it is currently right now, and it keeps showing reaction to the price, there's a good possibility that we do use this as a support and then try to trend upwards. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, we'll be on this 1 hour chart too right now. All right, so on the 1 hour, you guys can see I had a previous trend line drawn right here where we've kind of touched it multiple different times, kind of on the uptrend status. So there's a possibility that we could hold this range, which this shit is over there. So this is just me extending the channel that we were trading in beforehand. Not really doing anything too exclusive right here, but I do feel like we came down, we hit this level, we started to trade basically in this uptrend that we had a deviation, a lot of volume came into this channel, and where we tried to use it as a support, level, price reacted here, had more volume that took us up and above, and then we came back to use this as a support again, traded sideways around this range, so it stayed above this level, not using it as a support again. So then we start to go up, and you can see the volume after it kind of traded sideways for a little bit. I actually was going to short around this range. Then I started to see the signs that we were going back up. Price was reaction. We were going to have some more volume. So pushed up forward. At first got rejected before it got to this range. Then we had enough volume to push up and above. And then we retraced back into this channel. It continued to go up, came back, used it as support. And then you kind of saw the volume for there, which got us to our high point that we got to at this point. Then once we got to that high, at signs that we were going to retrace, I actually put a short in around this range. Short was successful, came in and out of this channel as I thought we would. And this is currently the story we're at right now. So where we previously used this as, we came down, used it as support, sold off significantly, went right back up into this same channel. Kind of tried to use it as support, but wasn't as successful using this as a support level. So possibilities is that if we don't stop right here, which we're at a current support level right this second, we don't stop here, we'll end up in this range right here where we previously traded sideways at. And probably visit this for a second and then kind of drop down back into this channel possibly, if we don't use these areas as a support, whether it be up here or down here. One of the two has to hold. If not, we're going to probably come down significantly back into this channel and probably get re-magnetized to this uptrend line if we're still in the current uptrend we were previously before the deviation and the value came in. So we'll, like I said, it's got to play that by ear, kind of see what does happen on different time frames. It does look a bit different and it tells a little bit of a story. If you pay attention to it, you see the uptrend, deviation from it, volume come in, and then you see this used as a support, but you see it go up with a lot of volume and then come right back down and get rejected out of this channel. So enough volume to go up and above and break through, but not to hold it as a support level. So the next line of support before we end up going back towards let me extend this a bit before we go back towards this uptrend level, which hopefully we do hold this and we keep trucking towards that at least 2200 2000 level or so. But if we keep getting rejected around this range, trade sideways, and then it comes to a point to where we're kind of pinched in between this uptrend and the support, it's gonna have to choose one of two ways, either up or down. I don't know if it's gonna trend sideways that long though, especially not with the rate hike information coming out. To me, I'm really not super bullish on this right now. I think that we could possibly retrace, which has got me wanting to kind of put a short in. But I mean, I previously thought that around the previous range we were just at, and then it did break through. So that's what we're currently at right this second. See, I haven't traded in over a year. I taught myself, made money, lost money, and stopped it. Turned gambling. Yeah, well, I've tried to turn this more into a science rather than a gamble. Just because if you use different indicators and you're making sure that you're verifying on multiple different indicators, it's really hard to call it a gamble. It's more of an educated guess than anything else. It's still a guess, don't get me wrong. TA is nowhere near a 100% science that works every single time. It's just a way to give you a heads up on what could or what could not happen within a situation. So I do feel like TA is not an end-all be-all. Market sentiment is a big part of it, and there's a lot of different variables that kind of move stocks, cryptocurrencies, and if you're not paying attention to all of those aspects, it's really easy to feel like you know some stuff, then come in and kind of get wrecked throughout the entire situation and lose money in the market. But it's also really easy to gain on the market. Also, it depends on how adamant you are on learning the space and the different things that are changing inside of this space. What you got on the Ryan and Tank fight, man? I'm not gonna lie to you, that's just a good setup right there. I think you got two hard fighting, hard punching individuals. One of them's more of a counter puncher than not. You know what I mean? So I honestly feel like Tank may take it, but Ryan he's a really good opponent. So it's just gonna be a good overall fight. So I don't think I have per se a favorite right this second, but I do think it's possible that Tank can take it depending on if he reads Ryan the right way. I've actually heard and saw some footage of what's supposed to be them sparring also. So it's gonna be an interesting take, man. Tank does open itself up to one of Ryan's major punches, so we'll see if that is a factor throughout the fight, if he opens himself up to that, or if he's trained himself to kind of not absorb those blows like normal, because I don't think we're going to be seeing too many of those punches just ate during this fight, as there's some heavy hands in this fight. I don't even have a laptop, I just use my phone, so I wasn't that serious. Okay. And Mika 4, have you been in the chat before? This is a new name to me. I don't know if you been around or not, but if so, welcome, man. Welcome. What's going on? How you feeling today? What up, baby fat? What's the word, man? How you feeling today? What's the word, baby? But yeah, got some good things going on right this second, so we'll see how the market does hold up. We got some variables. It's the same story pretty much with Bitcoin. I got different levels mapped out. Oh, okay. Makes sense. So you've been around for subscribe for about over a year. Okay. Well, definitely appreciate you for subscribing and checking in, man. And if you want to chat anytime, man, we're open to chat, man. Kind of love meeting new people, strong suits, especially if you're a trader and you're out here trying to trade. It's harder. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to trade on your phone, screen small. It's hard to pick up on trends. If you're using TradingView, then yeah, you can kind of utilize some of the same indicators on your phone that you can on the computer. But seeing it larger on multiple screens is just totally different. It's a different vibe, honestly. So it helps a lot. So where are we at? 1 hour right this second. So you guys saw the uptrend. We came into the channel, got rejected, came into the channel, got rejected, came back in, kept fighting to get back into the spot, used it as a support level, and we went up from there. So that's really what you want to see. You want to see the volume bring you into the level past the resistance. You want to see that fight to remain in there, use that support, and then kind of the lift off from there. So pretty much same exact thing here. Gets rejected around this range, busts through, retraces a little bit, comes back down, uses as a support level, dips underneath a little bit, closes as a support level, underneath again for this candle close, and then it goes back and above, use it as support, dips down again. We have enough volume after using it as a support level a couple times to go up and above, and then kind of bounce up to the higher level that we're at right now, because all this was open realm to kind of just run, really. So yeah, it's a lot of different ranges to kind of run around on Bitcoin, and that's even if you're looking at multiple different time frames, you can kind of see the rejection and then how it kind of goes. But that's a healthy stair-step way that you kind of want to see things. You want to see it break that resistance level, you want to see it come back down, use that resistance as a support. Now, does it happen all the time? Absolutely not. There's areas to where, like, these are all different market support levels. It ignored all of these support and resistance levels to come down to this one currently right here, to use this as a support and then to continue up. So it's a lot of variables in it. So we can, I mean, we're going through different things. If you're in a flight club, we're going to be going through multiple things in aspects of this in depth. We're going to try to get people up to speed, especially with the market it's printing money right now. Just think about it. The market went all the way down to 1375 as far as Ethereum. If you're investing into Ethereum, you got a couple of Ethereum, it just went from 1375 to about almost $1,800. And that's ridiculous. It's about $400 plus in gains per Ethereum that you have currently and that you're trading. So there's multiple different options, not to mention leverage trading. Even if you're not trying to play in the market, it's super volatile. Play with the volatility with leverage trading, kind of learning how to use some of the indicators and learning how to basically time the market more or less. which is not easy. You got to put a lot of different science into doing all of these different things, but it's fun learning the different levels of it. But let me not rant too much on the market. I told you guys I was going to hit over the NFTs because we got 12 minutes before Tank Man comes in with the Tankonomics. So we'll take a brief break right here. We'll come back in. We'll look at some of the floor prices on the Bulls and Apes project. And then, like I said, 12 minutes, we'll listen in to their Twitter space, hopefully dropping some alpha. I know that they're going to be explaining the new the multiplying feature that just got added to their dashboard. I was notified by Grind Time that was a real thing. Grind and Hambone let me know about that one. So, and I did check, and it is a feature that is lit now on there for the multiplier. So we'll check into that and kind of see what's going on. We'll chat, talk about the alpha that's being stated. If you guys have any questions or want me to break down something further that they explained, I'm more than willing to do so. Then, you know, we got the Twitter space at 10 p.m. Central Time today, just because of the space at 8 p.m. It normally runs to about 9 or 9:30, maybe even past that if people have questions, which I feel like people will, as we had a significant amount of returns going through. So yeah, man, so let's take this quick break. I'll come back. We'll go over into these NFTs. Be right back. Right back to it. Appreciate you guys for sticking around, man, especially on this Taco Tuesday, man. So let's get into these floor prices. I had a couple predictions that I hope people paid attention to, and if you didn't, it's okay too, man. You know what I mean? That's fine. You know what I mean? Depending on whatever you buy what you buy, you buy when you buy. You know what I mean? Whatever situation is. But so we are looking at currently at a floor price of 0.279. So that in the form of fiat is $473. So we've been going down and down in price currently right now. Maybe some things come out in this space in the next 7 to 8 minutes that actually changes that factor. But as of right this second, we are getting closer and closer to my prediction of 0.25 for the floor price, and then it kind of maybe settling there for a minute or just bouncing and springing up from there. So it's literally 0.02 off my price. So I'm just gonna say it hit it. You know what I mean? You guys can, you know what I mean, get on me about the 0.02, but it's $20 away. But it's pretty close to my prediction. Pretty thin floor from that, so we'll see if some more people start undercutting once they hear the information. Most times when you have people that don't like the information that is presented, they ended up kind of pivoting and doing things differently. We've seen a sizable amount of returns within the Bulls and Eights project also, as we've been tracking that wallet that has been holding the assets inside of the Bulls and Eights project that have been returned, either the Bulls or the actual apes themselves. So been kind of interesting, kind of tracking the projects and kind of seeing the activity that's been going through the project during this time of, I guess, kind of being dormant to a certain extent. So we got a couple of sales recently. Today, 2 hours ago, there was a sale for a God Bull for 4.8 Ethereum, which is still a sizable amount of money. So we're still having some demand there for those God Bulls and for the OG Bulls, as people are still buying them. 8,131 bucks for the 4.8 ETH that was paid for that one. So it's interesting kind of seeing what's going on right now. We're seeing some different sales for wrapped ETH offers and low offers, high offers. It's actually interesting kind of seeing what some of these wrapped ETH offers are actually placed for. 2 hours ago, one got accepted for this one, which maybe they just wanted I don't know, maybe they just wanted a clean naked crystal green bull, but 0.5 went for that one, which was actually one of the higher accepted prices. We got some wrapped ETH offers being accepted for almost 0.25, 0.26. Another God Bull being sold earlier today, also 20 hours ago, 3.5 Ethereum. So we got some decent money coming in, because that was about $5,900 that actually went towards that one. So let's check out our next floor price. Our next stop will be the teens. And I know we're getting close. I'll wrap this up soon so we can get this situated, so I can get that on, so we can listen to the alpha, discuss it, and kind of type it up and go through some things. But 0.07 is the current floor right now. That price is at $124 right now currently. And there was a steal that was listed previously, and it was for 0.059, which was exactly $99, which is about $30 off. So it was a discounted one that was there. I guess somebody really wanted to sell that joker, so they did. Somebody did grab that pretty quickly off of the floor. So let's hit utilities. Hopefully we get some discussion as far as utilities, and maybe sprucing these up a little bit and add a little bit more razzle dazzle, as they have gone back to the drawing board with these. So yeah, we got 0.065 for the floor price for replenishments pretty much, and also for resurrections, which is not too bad at all, period. 0.65 is about 110 bucks right now currently. So definitely some different prices going around. Really cheap prices on the utilities if you guys are looking to advance, but that's going to come into play more long term than anything else. We got the 8th floor going to 0.14. It was just at 0.15. I guess we've had a couple different people list since then. So couple wrapped ETH offers taken for 0.13, which is honestly pretty damn cheap for the pricing. 0.13 for where the mint price was. So different opportunities, but it's to the point to where you've seen more people just accepting wrapped ETH offers, like the last 15-20 are wrapped ETH offers being accepted rather than people actually buying the project per se. It's people selling at a lower price than what they originally paid for it. especially if they interacted with the things and couldn't utilize the 6-month money back guarantee. And then we had this beauty right here, which is a little bit confusing to me because it looks like Ava, but it's not Ava with the Ava hair. So I'm trying to see, this one actually sold for 0.9, so this is probably one of the highest selling ones besides the one that got sold on accident. So it'll be interesting to kind of see how this progresses. And then we got 2 minutes, so let's wrap it up by looking into the actual traits and see what the trait floor is like. See if we got any traction around there or not. Around the same things that are on the floor currently right now. 16 ETH in volume. What's going on, DNA? And I see you, baby fat, spamming them Flight Club emojis. What up, DNA? What's the word? How you doing today? Pretty good, man. We're about to tune into this Twitter space, listen to some alpha for the Bulls and Apes project. They just recently changed some things and are adding some new things to their ecosystem. So we're trying to tune in. I'm trying my best to help people, as this ecosystem is sometimes overwhelming. So I stick around, take some additional time out of my day to listen to the Twitter space along with you guys, and to kind of be a part of the situation to where we kind of go over things. We can look up information in real time. We can look and see if the floor prices shift or if there's a demand for anything in return. So definitely got some things coming up within the next I think like 2 minutes or so. We're gonna be looking at that. Let's see, we got some random things selling right now. 20 minutes ago was the most recent really smaller items and people taking wrapped ETH offers. This one's not bad. Wrapped ETH offer taken for 0.26 for a cigar. I believe this is an legendary trade. Is it? I remember if this cigar is a legendary trade or not. Okay, no, it's an epic. The gold cigar is legendary. So okay, so 0.2 what did it sell for? 0.26. So they've doubled their money on this one. So there are some people that are actually making some pretty decent money for the different traits. The cigar one seems to be more of a demanded trait right this second. So 0.26 got the job done. Everything else is just a little bit too low for people who are holding right this second. There's a total of 3 of them. So we'll see how these end up actually panning out and being get bought up. Also, let's check into what we've been checking into before we go into the space, because this is a big part of what I feel like we're gonna hear a discussion about. All right, so this is the return wallet for the Bulls and Apes. We just had a couple. I think we had a couple more returned because it's literally, even when I did it go from 801 to 800? All right, maybe somebody's returning one right now, but it hasn't processed yet. I don't know, but it's definitely going to 801 and then 800. So technically right now it says 800 apes have been returned. Only 16 bulls, so 16 versus 801. Okay, so it is 801. It's just hating on me. So 120 Ethereum worth of assets have been returned, which is a sizable amount. So we're about to switch over. It's 801. We're going to switch over. I'll leave the ETH chart up right now. Let's go 1 hour as they bring up information, or if you guys have questions or want me to pull up anything else, I will pull it up. I'm still sitting right here, so you guys can ask whatever. I can vocally tell you guys, or I can tap it in the chat. But let's check out this Twitter space and see what they are bringing to the table as of right this second. Let me get to it. All right, they're in it to win it. Let's go. All right, guys, we'll tune into this. If you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts about anything that's said, anything that's about to be said, anything that you just want to say because it seems like it's just right for the timing, let's go for it and we'll do it. I'm here for you guys. Just ask me questions.
Living like a DJ. Welcome in, everyone. We're so excited. I'm Her Crypto with the Bulls and Apes Project. We're here for one of our favorite shows of the entire week. It is where we come to get some alpha, to get some updates, to get the strategy on the latest tokenomics, Tankonomics Tuesday. Welcome in. We've got Tokenomics Master, Tank Man himself
Tank
here.
Master. There you go. That's
Yeah,
a new
Tank
one, Tess.
Master. You're
Always
also
trying
a
to come
Tank
up with a new
Master.
hook. You
I
come up
know.
with something, like Tank Master. I don't know.
I know.
I mean, in my industry, I guess I'm a Tank Master. That's what people think about it in my in real life stuff. So it does work. But in this context, I guess it's tokenomics, right?
Tokenomics Master, Tank Man.
Something.
As well as Anthony's here hanging out with us again too. Hey Anthony, what's going on? Welcome to
Our
Tankonomics
fearless
again.
leader.
Woo!
How's it going? Thanks for having me on once again this week.
Yeah, when Anthony comes on, we got some good stuff. So that's always good, right? Her crypto.
Exactly. I know, I know. I mean, it's funny. I know. He's like, thanks for having me on to my project space. I mean, he's just one of the co-founders of NBD, but
I love it. Oh my God. Cool. So Anthony, what's going on, man? Why are you gracing us with your presence this evening?
Well, for some of you might have already seen, we've opened up the pairing for the apes, and this is specific to the OG Bulls. So you remember last week we went through some announcements of what the OG Bulls were going to look like and feel like, and now they are in action. Now I know I've seen a lot in the community that oh, this is taking too long and things are falling behind, and I just wanted to say yeah I feel it too. And it's not from the hard work of the dev team. So Dr. Yev and the devs are working their butts off. But all in all, we're a few weeks behind. Everyone knows that we had some issues with Mint, and the team was clearly focused on that. We added in testing and QA to our process. Our product launch took a little bit longer than expected. So yes, believe me, I wish that a lot of these things that we're putting in place now were in, but it was really important for us to do this right. And we're delivering tech. We're delivering pretty complex tech as well. Just give people an idea. In my corporate job, part of what I delivered was ERPs, was general ledgers, and for those that don't know, the blockchain is a ledger. It's a general ledger. It's a public ledger. That's what it is. And one of the most complex implementations for ERP, for general ledgers, are the interfaces in and out. And yes, when you do a Mint and you do simple tech with Web3, everyone's done it. It's really easy. It's one interface. It's not a big deal. But when you start building out complex dApps like we have, there are many interfaces and APIs and calls back and forth from the blockchain, because that is the core database that we interact with. So I'm not making excuses. I'm not complaining. But I've just given you guys an idea of where we are, and what we've got ahead of us. Now, in addition to that, as we went through all of the issues that we had with Mint and the launch, we realized that there's some processes that we need to improve, or that we can improve to make us go even faster. There's additional team members that we're looking to bring on, but we're also running from deliverable to deliverable, and everybody recognizing that we're behind, and so pausing isn't the answer. So we're trying to do both at the same time: is improve our processes, bring on additional team members, and continue to deliver the way that we're delivering. And so that's where we are right now. So what's up ahead? We've delivered the pairing on the OG Bulls. We've got some of the other pairings coming up. We've got set bonus. So over the next days, set bonus for BOTB will be in place. We're going to be doing additional pairings. The Compass bonus. All of those items are next up. The next big thing that I'm super excited about is the rarity leaderboard. And so the rarity leaderboard, the rankings for rarity is going to be an exciting aspect. And I know that some people in the community are looking at it and be like, okay, there's less than 1,000 apes that are equipped. So that means if I've got an equipped ape, I'm going to be a top 1,000. That's going to be super exciting. And we like to gamify things. We've got some gamification with rarity that we're really, really excited to get put in place too. So there's just so much that we can do with it. So right now, as we're looking at it, it's a product suite that we're putting together with Apes, and we've got 2 of those products in place with the loot boxes and the configurator. And I see the apes all over Twitter. We did the Ape of the Week contest. Some of our trait groups are doing contests on common traits and who could put together the best combinations. So there's a lot of fun that's happening in the community, and that's only with 2 products. Now we're getting the additional tokenomics in place. That's product number 3 within the product suite. Then we're going to have the rankings and the rarity. Then we're going to be going into achievements, and you can imagine, having all. I know there's a lot of those common traits that are out there, and some people are like, I don't like some of the common traits. Well, they're going to matter. They're going to matter in the achievements and to unlock something exciting and new. And then we get to the formulas and taking some of these traits and fusing them together to come up with a new trait. And all of that is going to create our baseline product suite for the apes. And I say baseline because we're just beginning with it. This is just the beginning, and we're really going to be amplifying it on top of that, adding new gamification. We already have 300 traits that are in the pipeline for us to deliver. So there's going to be exciting new traits, and we'll make announcements around those when those are being released into the loot boxes, so people know what new traits to expect. So that's going to be another exciting factor, and I can't wait to get to that. Now, one other item that I wanted to address on this space here, the Silicon Valley Bank. So I know that was a big topic, or still is a big topic in the space. And in addition to that, you've got Signature Bank, and there was one other. So 3 banks all really closing their doors, and it was just this crazy environment. And you're looking at that. I know I was looking at it over the weekend. Was like, okay, is this just domino number 1, or is this going to be it? Is this a one-off? And we don't know. What I will tell you is, I had discussions with our financial advisors. I had discussions with legal, and everything. Our setup is rock solid. It does not look like there's any issues whatsoever. We had 0 exposure, 0 risk to SVB. Our bank and our on ramp and off ramp between crypto and fiat is completely solid, completely in place. And so what I'm saying is we've got the war chest, we've got the ammo to get through any of these ups and downs and hard times. We've got the resolve, we've got the conviction, and our conviction has even doubled and tripled down. You think about the beauty of the blockchain. The beauty of the blockchain is that it's public. It is that it's decentralized. It is that it's removing gatekeepers and intermediaries. It's removing all of the mismanagement and the bad actors that are in the banks so that we have control over our assets. The individuals have control over their assets. That's what makes blockchain so powerful. That's what it makes it special. That's why we are here today, pioneering the space, moving the space forward so that it is a reality for society. It is way too important for society. It's way too important for individuals for this not to move forward. And we are going to be at the forefront in pushing that forward. That's what we have to look forward to. We're going to have this finished. So we've got this solid war chest in front of us. We've got this amazing product that we're delivering with the apes. And we're going to be putting all of that to use with brand expansion. And I mentioned this previously, that 2023 is about the year of expanding the brand. And that's what we're going to be putting in place. We want the finished product in place. We've got influencer marketing lined up. We've got some notable people that are going to be playing with the configurator and designing apes. That's going to be an exciting path for us to take. And then one other item that I want to mention, we talked about being more transparent about where we're going over the next 6 to 12 months. So one of the things that I want to share with this group is that we went into a partnership with a company called Brand Innovators. So we're now officially a member of Brand Innovators ecosystem. And what makes Brand Innovators special is that essentially they're a matchmaker with all of the massive big brands that are out there. And we had 2 people from the team attended the first event at South by Southwest over the weekend. And Brand Innovators, just to give you an idea, they have all the CMOs from all of the big companies. So Pepsi, Anheuser-Busch, NFL, American Eagle, Target, Kohl's, and the list goes on and on. The first big event that we're going to be sponsoring is a Web3 event. It's actually it's a Web3 event for traditional companies. And so we're going to be one of the only Web3 companies that are going to be at that event as thought leaders, and just connecting with all of these big brands. And so that's not to say that we've got an announcement here today that we're partnering one of these big brands, but this is the kind of activity that we're putting in place. And we're going to be attending about a half a dozen events over the rest of this year with brand innovators, connecting over and over again with executives, marketing executives from all of these big traditional brands. So that is one of the ways that we are going to be moving our brand forward and getting recognized, not just within our space, but also outside of the space as well. And so who knows what partnerships we're going to be announcing coming out of this, but I wanted to make sure that everybody had an idea of where we're going over the next 6 to 12 months and how we're starting to build the brand. And we're going to have more to announce too as we go. And there's some additional items that we're working on that we're going to be able to tease at that level, so that you guys have an idea of what we're looking to deliver. Because just because we're focused on brand expansion in 2023, it doesn't mean that the delivery doesn't go away. The delivery is going to continue to be as relentless, if not more relentless, than it has been. I mentioned that we're looking at ramping up the team, making sure that we're not single-threaded, that we're multi-threaded, that we're paying attention to all of the different product suites that we have in place across the Bulls and Apes brand and the Bulls on the Block brand. And so that is something that I'm looking forward to us catapulting into the future. Now, when you put all that together, you look at what we're doing with the delivery. You look at us pioneering the space and moving the space forward. You look at the conviction around what it means to be blockchain. You look at the war chest and what we're going to be putting into play for brand expansion. And I want you to think about the live your best life mantra. And I want you to think about us going through all of that and all of you being here as early as you are as the core community that is building side by side with us. And imagine when we hit that 10th floor. And how are you going to live your best life? Are you going to be able to sell a couple of your assets, your couple of your bulls? Are you going to be able to just have the pride of having a bull in a collection like that? Are you just going to have that pride in being part of the company that is building for the future, that is pushing the space forward, that is pioneering the space? However you are going to live your best life, I want you to think, how are you going to live your best life in your way when we hit that 10th floor? That's what I'm thinking about. That's the focus that I have. And I cannot wait for us to get there.
There you go. I'm like listening and digesting. It's amazing, Anthony. We've talked about this in multiple meetings. All of this that you've just laid out, which is basically a roadmap, which you just gave us verbally, right? It's amazing where we're going. Not just where we're going, but where we've come from, right? So, you've laid out all these amazing initiatives, the direction we're going, the brand expansion, how we're delivering the product, what we're offering in gamification and tokenomics, everything that we're doing with the Bulls, everything that we're doing with the Apes, everything that we're doing with community tokenization. And you start layering all that on. It seems daunting about the amount of things that we want to do and that we are going to do in this space. But then you take a step back and you think about what we've already done. And I think that gets lost sometimes, to think about what we've already delivered, how we've already brought innovation to the space, the things that we're doing different in this space, the things that we're offering that no other project has offered. And it's just amazing to think about. I am so pumped for where we're going. I'm pumped for where we've come from. We always say, oh, we're so early, but holy crap, we are early. We are early, specifically with the Bulls and Apes. It's only a year, and yeah, a year seems like forever in blockchain and NFTs and in crypto. But when you're building a company and you're building a brand, a year is just a fraction, and we have so far to go, and we have such an amazing team behind us, a great leader, and I'm pumped, man. I am so stoked for where we're going with this. I can't hold it in. It's amazing.
And one of the things that I look at, you look at like history, and it's important because history has a sense of not replicating itself, but there's rhymes and reasons to it, and there's themes that you see over and over again. One theme that I've seen many times, whether it was from recessions in the early 2000s or 2008, or the 90s, or you go back even further, some of the great companies that we know of today, those traditional brands that I'm hoping to meet with and partner with at Brand Innovators, that's those companies. Many of those companies, they were built in recessions, and they were built in recessions through conviction, resolve, and the wherewithal to make sure that they were surviving through those recessions, and not just surviving, but thriving through the recession and then catapulting after the recession. And so even if we're hitting a recession, that's almost a blessing in disguise. And I that's where I'm so pumped up. I'm so pumped up that we're in the right place at the right time with the right people sitting side by side with us.
100%. And not just building, but innovating, right? I mean, a lot of projects can say that they're building, and projects are building. And I take my hat off to projects that are building, but we're not just building, we're innovating. And that brings us back to what you talked about in the beginning, when we first got in the space, was the apes, and how this isn't just an NFT, but this is a product launch. We're delivering a product, and that product takes time to get right, especially when we're doing things that have never been done in this space before. We're innovating, we're trying things, we're pushing the limits and the boundaries of what it means to be in Web3, and provide and offer our holders the ability to own their own identity, to have an NFT that they can customize and create, and make their own, while building on the foundation of our OG bulls that provide this inner circle access, to true utility in the space, like the investment opportunities, the venture capital opportunities that we're providing to our community. So it really is building a brand and a company, and not just limping along from one NFT to another, because that's not what we're doing. We're actually innovating and providing something amazing. So I love how this encapsulates everything. I know that Tankonomics, Tokenomics is talking about strategy, but I think to get this good view and vision of where we've been and where we're going is such it's so important for who we are as a company. And I think it really lays out where we're going, and what we're going to do, and how we're going to provide something that's going to be unique, dynamic. I love that word. And important for this space. We're going to be one of those companies that's going to be on the top of the hill. We're going to be one of those companies that are going to look back at, and other companies are going to want to talk to us, to collaborate with us, because we are the innovators and we are pushing this space.
And that's right, Tank Man. And the word innovation, and we talked about this in some meetings today too. Innovation means different things to different people. And one of the things too you've got to remember is that I go back to the beginning of the internet stuff. And you remember when it was dial up and the internet was slow. And so at the
But wait a
time
minute,
when you were
you say, do
innovating,
you remember? I'm sure we remember, but I don't know how many people in the room remember that, right?
yeah, I'm sure there's enough
Okay.
people. And but what was happening then was it's similar to what's happening now with the on-chain versus off-chain debate. You were looking at it and like, okay, we're gonna have to do more on the client side, because the internet connection wasn't fast enough. And so there was like a very heavy client aspect to applications at the beginning of the internet. And so it was client heavy. And it wasn't until that the internet speed increased, it wasn't until that there was more cloud computing in place where you were able to do, have much thinner client, where you get to a point now where you can have you can have your phone, you can have an iPad. That was a whole progression, and you're seeing that happen right now with on-chain versus off-chain. On-chain just isn't able to handle it. We look at gas fees, and I know that's a complaint in the community, and we are looking at gas fees, and we've got a list of optimization items that we're working through. But you look at gas, and as a result of that, you're doing some things that are off chain. And I mentioned all those interfaces. Yeah, don't believe me. I would love for there to be no interfaces, or just one interface and very, very light client side, and and have everything on chain and process fast. And the technology is just going to have to catch up to that. It will at some point. And for the time being, when we think about innovation, it's a balance between how much do you do on chain versus how much do you have for customer experience. And that's going to be a balance that's going to go back and forth, not just with us, but with everybody who's trying to push forward, in a space where the technology still is more immature than maybe our ambitions
Right.
are.
And while always keeping in mind the intent of what blockchain technology is supposed to be, trustless, right? I mean, and that's where we're supposed to be. We want to drive to that while keeping in mind that we have limitations, but always keeping the eye on the prize, I guess you could say, of where we know this space is going and where we know this technology is going to be, because we've seen it. I mean, I remember we were in a space earlier tonight, and you'd mentioned how we have been dubbed the boomers, of the space. And when we first got in the space a year ago, being called a boomer was kind of an insult, right? Oh, these boomers are coming in. What do they know? Are they really technologically advanced enough to be able to understand what we're doing in blockchain? But you and I have talked about this. We've talked about it. The founders and I have talked about this, about leaning into the fact that boomers is not a bad thing. We've been in technology long enough that we've seen this same game that we're playing, the same story that we're living right now. It's repeating itself. You mentioned dial-up. We can talk about technology of cell phones, where we started with pagers and went to these brick phones, and now we literally have computers in our hands, that have better processing and more information than the most advanced computers that we had 40 years ago, 50 years ago. So those of us that are boomers, that want to call us boomers, we've seen this. So that gives us a little bit of an insight on where we're going and where we know this space can go, and how hard we should be pushing to help advance this space. So I love the fact that we're seeing things playing out that, okay, yes, we can't quite get there yet, or technology is not where we know it needs to be, but we're going to push as hard as we can, and we're going to innovate along the way, and we're going to create technology that's going to help to better this space and advance this space, and do the things that we need to do to make sure that we're pushing the boundaries. So I love it. I think it's amazing. Like you said, I think we're in a perfect place right now. We're in a great time, with an amazing staff, um, a lot of forward thinkers, in the entire company, that are just looking to push this space and push the company forward. And I wouldn't want to be anyplace else.
I agree with you, Tank. And I was going to say, to wrap that up for everyone listening, and it's so great. I mean, I love it what both of you are saying, and but I feel like to wrap it up, it's like it, it's a proven track record of success, right? That we have on our leadership team, and that was one of the things, with the space that Tank's talking about. We were on earlier, and that I talk about when I first found out about Bulls and Apes Project pre-Mint last year. When I looked at the founders, and I was like, okay, this is different, but like obviously they have a track record of success, which means they've built businesses, which means they've also built through, like Anthony was saying, recessions, through downtimes. They've handled a lot of challenges. And to me, I think that speaks volumes, and that shows a lot that, someone's, not just been here before, and maybe not in this exact same way, but they've been through building a business. They've been through the ups and downs. They've been through building a team, leading a team, and all of this, like you were saying, Tank. And so many people I talked to, and recently I've heard it multiple times. And Anthony, you and I were talking about this, and you mentioned this is like a lot of the .com bubble era, like feeling. A lot of what's going on, you see, and a few other people that I had some conversations with, that I spoke to, other founders and other people in the space, have been resonating the exact same messaging. And it's just, there's a lot of hype. The bull market was running, and it's very easy to just pump something out, and people were like, yeah, let's all go. And then now it's like, you've got to really prove, you've got to deliver, you got to have things that you can give value to your community. And that's what we do every day, and continue to do, and have so many more plans coming down the
Yeah,
road.
I mean,
Super
it's
excited.
not always clean, right? Pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits, innovating. It's messy. And that's good, because that's when you learn, and that's when you can pivot, and that's when you can adjust, and that's when you then, be allow yourself to be creative, and use the word again, innovative. I love that part of it. I think that it shows strength in a company. I think it shows strength in leadership. You know, we have amazing founders. Anthony is just killing it, and having that, and then a team that can deliver with that vision is super amazing. So no, I love this. I love it. But you know what? We've been talking the pump for the last 30 minutes because it's important. You know, I think it's important to get that messaging out and what Anthony talked about. But I want to talk about the tokenomics. Let's talk about what we're doing with the bulls, where the apes are going. I want to get some people from the audience up on stage, and let's start asking some questions. You know, Anthony and I, Her Crypto, we've been talking for 30 minutes, but it's important to hear from the community and start seeing what their strategy is and how things are going. So let's jump in.
I know. Let's go.
Let's
I want to talk about the
Yeah,
pairing.
I mean,
I'm
right.
like, we got some new stuff that just got released. I don't know about you guys. Did you pair your apes? I'm excited. I paired my
I'm starting
apes.
to work on it. I've been so busy the last few days, since end of last week with some in real life stuff. So I have not. I mean, you know, with the testing, I was in every day, hours on day testing. So I really got a feel for how the amazing configurator works and having the fun of outfitting the apes and stuff. So then we launched and things were awesome. I had to take a little bit of a break for some in real life stuff. But I got on tonight. I was like, I'm starting to pair my apes up. It's so cool. It's awesome because I'm seeing things I haven't been on in a couple days, and I'm seeing things. I'm like, our tech department keeps adding things and making the experience even better, and I'm loving it. It's like a gift to me every time I log in, especially if I've taken a break for a little bit of a time. So I'm loving some of the things I saw in here. But yeah, the pairing is awesome, right? So the pairing, we talked about this, and we announced last week that we were making some adjustments. Just like I just said a few minutes ago, we listen, we pivot, we did that, right? We made some adjustments, and our pairings for our OG bulls are out. So, you know, right now you can go onto our website, and we have the pairings of 0, 1, and 2 breed bulls. If you pair your bulls, you're going to start earning 20 methane token per day. Now, if you have a 0 breed bull, you're earning 15, you're going to go up to 20. If you have a 1 and 2 breed bull and you're earning 10, you're going to also go up to 20. So 20 brings you up to that that cap, or that cap for those 0, 1, and 2 breed bulls. But if you have replenished your bull, if you have 3 breeds, because we've been talking about this, you guys, we want to encourage you guys to replenish your bulls. There are plans, there's a need. We want to get those bulls replenished. So if you replenish your bull to 3 breeds, you're going to earn 30 methane tokens per day. So you're getting that extra little bit of a bump to get out there and find those replenishments and get them attached to your bull to replenish it back up to those breeds that need to be in your bull. So that's awesome. Now that is live today, right now. So if you go onto the website, go onto your collection, log in, you'll see the ability to actually pair your bull. It's super cool because when you do it, right on top of the bull itself, on the little card NFT representation on our website, there'll be a little circle that will have the ape that's paired. If you're on a mobile or a small screen, it's hard to see. I have a very large screen, so it was really cool for me to see it on the large screen, that you can actually see the ape and the token ID number that's paired for that bull. And then right away, you can see that bull jumps with its methane generation per day. So it's live. Get in there, take advantage of it. Let's get that methane going. We did announce that we have a compass that's going to provide 10 methane per bull. That's not out yet. We'll be making the announcement when that comes out. It'll be soon. Like Anthony said, we've got some priorities. You know, right now it was getting this bull methane pairing going. We have other tokens or NFTs that we need to get that pairing, and I'll talk about that in a second. That's coming up, and then definitely getting, you know, our ranking tool and the ape ranking online is super important because there's gamification behind that. So the compass is in the queue, and our dev team will be working hard to do that. But just how the compass is going to work, we had an amazing community member that had talked about a compass way back when we were doing our OG Bulls and God Bulls. And a compass was basically holding one of each guild of a God Bull. It was super cool. And Neo Ape saw that. He included it in our lore. So it's become canon for our project. But there was really never a utility around it. So we thought, how fun would it be to bring that utility for a compass into our gamification, into our tokenomics. So, and that's what we've done. So if you hold a compass, meaning a north, south, east, and west of an OG bull, so you hold 4 OG bulls, 1 from each guild, you're going to get 10 methane per bull bonus. So it's a 40 methane bonus. Now you can only have 1 compass per wallet. That's the cap. And if you have multiple wallets that have bulls in them and you want to create a compass in multiple wallets, that's up to you. But that 40 methane bonus is for having a compass. Now, your compass does not have to be include all 3 breed OGs. You can have some 0 breed, some 1 breed, 2 breed, 3 breed. It doesn't matter how many breeds each OG has, as long as you've got 1 from each guild and you get that bonus. Now, the bonuses are going to appear in your meth bank. So there won't be a specific claiming function. We're going to recognize that you have that compass in your wallet, and you'll see that added to your meth bank automatically. So you'll get that additional generation of those 40 methane in there. So it's going to be super cool, and I'm stoked about it. Now, there's
yeah,
go ahead.
I was sorry, I was just gonna say, yeah, kind of similar about what you said about the compass, but on the live tech that's out right now with the pairing of the apes, it's not so you automatically see your bull change to that. It's gonna have the plus uh production of methane token per day, but you're not gonna see it in your wallet. It's gonna reset with each midnight central
Right.
time. So it's gonna automatically reset just because I know I saw a few people in the Discord, they paired and then they didn't see their actual wallet, the meth bank, the bank, if you will, where you harvest into, go up yet, but that will happen each night. And then when you claim, it is claimable in from your bank.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah, claimable from a bank. So yeah, so super cool to get that extra methane. Now, that's not the only additional methane increase that we have coming to our gamification, to our tokenomics. We have a few other things that are in a queue right now as well, for us to get into the ecosystem, and that's going to be our God Bull increase to 100 meth very soon. So just hang tight, guys. We really want to get the pairing done first, but we've got the 100 meth per day increase for the God Bull. We have the increase for our teens. Currently, our teens are earning 1, 2, and 4, depending on what level, whether you're level 1, 2, or 3. They earn 1, 2, or 4 methane per day. That's going to increase to 1, 3, and 5. So there'll be a meth generation increase there. And then our resurrected teens, the teens that if you have a God Bull and you get a resurrection, you go in and resurrect that teen out of the underworld. You're bringing him back to life. He's got that cool blue halo. Those teens are earning 5 methane right now, and they're going to go up to 7 methane per day. The cool thing about the teens is you're going to be able to pair your teens with OGs, with your apes as well. And they generate methane like the OG bulls do. So I love that. It's compounding. You don't have to go in there every day to claim it or to harvest it. It'll build up, and then when you're ready to go in and claim it, you can do your claiming. So I love the. Did I cut out?
You did. I was like, where did Tank go? You love the.
Yep, there it goes. I dropped it. Yeah, no, what I was going to say is I don't know where I cut out. I apologize. I saw somebody try calling me, and it always happens. But yeah, the resurrected teen increased to 7 meth. Did you catch that part?
Yes, and you said you love the teens to be able to be pairing because you're really
I'm
excited
excited
for
because
them.
they're compounding, right? You don't have to go in there and harvest
Yeah.
every day. So super cool. But how are you doing with your teens? How's that going? Pretty good.
Yeah, no, they're good. They are just hanging out. I don't have any resurrected teens. They are all minted, and I was never able to part with one to be able to resurrect anything. So yes, I'm looking forward to pairing. And I am really excited. Like I said, the apes and configuring the apes has been fun, and I feel like I've been very similar to you, where obviously, I mean, I didn't test as long as you did. I was really right before launch when we had more of the team in testing. But I was in testing so much. And then once launch happened and we had everything going on, and we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, as well as you've seen us out and about. Anthony's coming out into spaces and doing a lot of communicating with the community, as well as meeting with other communities and stuff. I kind of haven't been in as much, and I actually goofed up and I missed my harvest yesterday.
I did the same thing about 3 days ago. I was so bummed at myself. I'm like, man.
Yeah. Yep, yep. So, and I said, I was like, no, I can't miss it because I actually, it does feel a bit similar to when we were minting teens because I was building up my daily methane token with my OG bulls and I didn't have to harvest each day. But I was like, oh, I can mint a teen. Like a weekend would come. It was about every 2 weeks, I think, that I was getting the opportunity to mint. And the week, it was always like for some reason, like Saturday morning. And I would be like, oh, let me look at oh, I can mint a teen, and I would, like, mint a teen, and, so I kinda had that same thing happen this week where I was like, "Oh, yeah, I have common loot boxes to open, like, I I need to use my token and go
I
open some loot
know. I'm
boxes."
excited too. I've got so many to open. I've been waiting off, and it's funny because I was thinking about this today. I'm sure I see it in our community, and it's so cool. I've been watching, man. Some of the combinations that our community is putting together are so freaking cool. And what I love is even in the common boxes. You made this comment earlier on that same space. I was listening to you, and I know that we call it a common box because that's the name that we gave it. But man, there's nothing common about some of the traits that are coming out of that box. There are some amazing traits that are coming out that people are then equipping onto their apes. So, I was thinking about this. I was looking at how much methane I've got collected. And I've got a grip, and I'm like, okay, I got a lot to work with here. I just need to sit down and do it. I almost need to schedule time because I remember in testing, you get lost. I've seen this comment in some DM channels I'm in. It's like you get in and you realize that, oh my God, an hour's gone by. But you just start playing the game and you start equipping. And once we have our rarity, our ranking tool in play, and you're going to be able to start equipping and seeing how you're moving your ranking around and your rarity of that ape, that's I think going to be really, really cool. And I'm so looking forward to that because then it's going to give us this visual of I'm putting this together. What does it mean? Now you're going to be able to define it because you're going to have this ranking on there. So I'm really excited that our tech team is really diving into that aspect, and that's the next big rollout that we're going to have. And once that goes live, it's going to be game on because I'm telling you, competition. I'm gonna be get competitive. It's going to be okay. You're building some cool stuff, but I'm going to build something better, and it's going to be better ranked than you. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I know, speaking of our community, we've got Lou on stage. Lou, what's going on? How are you? Welcome to the stage.
Hey, everyone. Just a couple comments. First of all, I paired a few apes. It could not be a more seamless process, and even replenish. And I only had two full breed bulls, so I wanted to do it with those two. But then I replenished one to do it with a third. So I had more to do there. But the process was really seamless, and I love that little icon on the top of the card that shows the ape that it's paired with. A couple questions. I heard read that if you replenish a bull, it resets the methane. So if that's a truth, then I encourage everybody to claim or harvest your meth before you start replenishing bulls. Is that a
Correct.
truth?
Yeah. So getting clarification on that, it's just the way that it works because you haven't claimed that methane to your to your wallet yet. So if you look, the best way that I can explain it is when you harvest, you've basically said I'm allocating these. I'm going to pull them out of my bowl. But if you look at your bowl, you still see that the bowl has how many methane is in there, right? How much methane is left on that bowl, right? It actually is written on there. So until you claim it out of that, until you not just harvesting, I didn't mean harvesting, but claiming it, you haven't extracted it. So if you then change the breeds on that bull to back up to 3 breeds, then it's automatically going to reset that as if it assumed it was 3 breeds the whole time. So yes, if you're going to be replenishing, please make sure you claim. I'm actually in that boat right now because I've got so much methane that I have not claimed for my OG bulls yet. And I was getting ready to start because I've got a bunch of replenishments. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start replenishing. And right before I hit it, I thought, oh, wait a minute, I can't do that because I'll lose out on, that extra 5 methane. It'll reset it to 10 per day. So yeah, definitely make sure you claim it, get it into your wallet, that transaction completed on the blockchain. So you now have it in your wallet. Then once you do that and all your bulls are sitting at 0 methane, when you look at the little counter at the top, then do your replenishment, pair it, and then boom, you're set, and then earning that 30 methane per day.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful for everybody to know. Um, another point as folks are thinking about meth generation in their own collections, I think, if you have options before you pair an ape with a one or a two breed, which would, uh, or I'm sorry, the zero breed, which would move it from 15 to 20, which is still a nice increase. A better opportunity is to take the resurrected teen from 7 to 14. You get a net 7 gain versus a net 5 gain. As far as you two not harvesting every day, shame
I
on you both.
know.
How you don't have it, as part of your routine, like brush your teeth, harvest your
You
meth,
should, huh?
and move forward with your day. I mean, it's crazy, but because every few weeks you guys have the same story.
I
It's so
know.
funny.
And I,
You really do, both of you guys, you two. It's
yeah,
hysterical. I mean, how you guys haven't made it part of your routine when we all have, because it's crazy to lose out on it.
especially when I
Um,
have as many
yeah,
tokenized communities as I have in my wallet, and I know what that number
right?
is. It's a lot.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
lot of methane I'm missing.
oh yeah.
I think I calculated that if I was on level 3 versus the level that I'm on, it comes out to like I'm missing out on like 700 methane a day. I'm like,
Oh
God, what
yeah.
am I doing? It's crazy.
No, that's serious
Yeah,
stuff.
it is.
And as a collector, I'm super excited about the trait ranks thing to come out. I'm competitive like a lot of you guys and girls are, so I'm absolutely shooting to have an ape in the top 5 at all times if I
Yeah,
can.
it's
Just
it,
just I'm laying
you're
down the
laying down the
gauntlet just
gauntlet.
so
I
everybody
love it.
knows. You better
I
fucking believe
love
it.
it, man. And that's what's so cool about this, right? Because when we minted the bulls, trust me, I lucked out, man. I got my rainbow. He's up there. He's ranked in I think the top 20. I think he's ranked 20 or something like that. So I lucked out unbelievably. But it's the luck of the draw. And trust me, I've been in projects where I don't get the luck of the draw. Now we've given that power and control back to the holder. You don't have to be bummed about getting the luck of the draw. If you come in and play the game and start outfitting, and you've got an opportunity to get, epic and legendary traits in the common box as well. So, the potential of opening up those boxes and landing even one of those, what we consider rarer traits, it's there. And having that control, then being able to put it together. And once we've got the trait ranking tool, dialed in, and you can start outfitting and figuring out what makes sense. And then when you've got it together to where you think you're going to be getting yourself ranked, then you can mint it. And now it lives on the blockchain, and now it's in the collection for everybody to see. That's what I'm excited about. I still look at our collection, and I see a lot of these warrior traits and a lot of these scavenger traits. Excuse me. And I can't wait till our collection becomes more diverse and people really start getting these traits outfitted on their apes. That's gonna, and it's gonna take some time, right? This is new. This is new to this space. This is something that has not been done to the extent that we're doing it. It's not unique as far as a dynamic NFT, but it's unique as far as the extent that we're doing it and the amount of traits that we're going to have. Anthony talked about this. He mentioned it earlier. You guys have seen all the traits that we're out, but we've got 300 traits in the pipeline right now. Stuff that hasn't been out yet. I mean, I'm sure, Lou, you're probably wondering, where's my trait that I designed for the God Bowl event?
You bet I'm
Yeah,
wondering. No, no, I have been looking out for some of the other
right.
guys too. And that was going to be my last comment. For everybody that hasn't played with the configurator yet, get in there and play with it. It's a lot of fun, and it's unbelievable seeing people's creativity already so far. People are really putting together some unbelievable apes with all common traits. Some of the coolest ones I've seen have been all
It's
common
true.
traits.
Absolutely true. So, and I want to, that's actually, you're giving me a great segue because we're talking about, the configurator and creating the apes. So a couple of things that we talked about on Tankonomics before the apes came out was some of the strategy, how is everybody playing the game? And I came up with 3 avatars. So we've got 3 avatars, at least the way that I think about it now. We have the collector, we have the designer, and we've got the dealer. So what do these avatars mean? So to me, a collector is kind of where I'm at right now. And I think maybe it's where most people are at, is collecting these traits, right? You're opening the boxes, you're collecting them, and you're holding them in your wallet to figure out, where these combinations are going to work. Maybe it's waiting until we get the ranking tool, our trait ranks online, so that way people can figure out, how that's going to affect their ape, and then maybe the game will change slightly and the strategies will change. So that's the collector. Then you've got the designer, and the designer is what you just said. people going in and creating these badass apes with traits, whether they just be all common traits, whether it be a combination of some commons and some epics and legendaries, whether it be like your gold ape where you just freaking dial it in and make it with a gold, body and cigar and the frog, wherever you're at in the gameplay.
Yeah, wherever
That's
you're
the
at.
designer,
Agreed.
right? So everybody can be a designer. Everybody can create something with what we've got, and then decide if that designer strategy is to create something and then list it for sale. See how that changes the outlook of our collection and how people are going to view the collection. And then you've got the dealer, and the dealer is that trait dealer. Maybe it's somebody just opening loot boxes, and I know I see it in DMs right now where people are like, hey, I minted a couple of these things, but I really want something else. So they're trading traits out, right? Getting traits and swapping things out because they think they have something common, and there's so many of them. Hint, hint. What we're going with additional gamification, and that's fine for right now. They're trading stuff out because they want to get something different. So we're early in the game. I mean, we've been out for what has it been 2 weeks now? Not even 2 weeks yet, and it's just starting. This is just the beginning of really getting our sea legs under us, figuring out where we're going with our strategies, letting the collection mature, right? Because when we minted, it was an immature collection. It was warrior traits and scavenger traits, which I love. I mean, I've got some that I'm probably never going to change because I love the way that they look. But it's an immature collection until we start bringing these new traits into the ecosystem and bringing them into the collection and outfitting the apes. So I love where we're going with this. I can't wait. It's just nowhere up from here, right? That's where we're going, and it's really, really cool to see what the community is doing with this. All right, so let's talk about some other stuff. You guys, something else you want to say, Lou? I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
No, not at all. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me up, and it's a lot of fun. So I appreciate that as well.
You, man. Thanks. And if anybody else wants to ask a question, please raise your hand. We'll get you guys up on stage. Ask your questions. If there's something that you're curious about, how the configurator is working, maybe what we're doing, where the project is going, anything about tokenomics, the gamification itself, please raise your hand. But I want to talk about some things that are coming. And Anthony mentioned this. Let's call it Anthony's monologue. It was Anthony's monologue in the beginning. I love that. About
we're gonna add that. I'm gonna add that specific title to the space
planning.
There you
go, monologue. I love it. Anthony's monologue.
Anthony's monologue. We need to get him some intro music.
That's what we need to do. So, and if you can see him, he's probably wearing his tie, looking sharp as he's giving his monologue too. But so let's talk about where we're going with gamification, because as we're developing, and this is a product, right now the gamification is the dynamic NFT itself, how the NFT works with, opening loot boxes, acquiring commons and epics and legendaries, outfitting them on your ape, and then putting them together. And that's where we're at right now. This is the first phase, right? We're just starting, just getting off the ground, but we've got some really cool gamification coming. So let's talk about two of these things. Two of the gamification aspects of the project that are right around the corner. Guys, keep your eyes peeled. We'll make the announcements, and that's our formulas and our achievements. So Anthony talked about this, but let's dive in a little bit with formulas, and we talk about this. So the formulas gamification is asset based, and what that means is that you'll be collecting certain combinations of traits that we have, and there's going to be a burning a factor with this. There's going to be a burning of these traits. So we've talked about it, and I've seen a lot of DMs how people are saying, hey, I've got I've minted 3 of these color eyes. Why do I need all these eyes? Or I see that there's a lot of this one type of trait. Well, a lot of that's by design, because some of these traits that maybe are more common are going to be needed to create something else that you're going to be able to acquire trait-wise that's not acquired via the loot boxes, right? So right now, the only vehicle or the only way to get a trait is via the loot boxes. Other than our traits that we're designing for our tokenized communities, which will be acquired directly on our website, the loot boxes is it. So with formulas, you're going to be able to actually now look at this formula and see, wow, if I collect these certain traits, I'm now going to be able to create a trait that is only accessible through this formula method. So it's going to be really fun, super engaging. It's going to add another level of gamification. Now, not only that, but we're going to have achievements. Now, achievements is similar, but achievements is activity based. So where formulas is all because of the 1155 NFT that you hold in your wallet, you're collecting them, you're going to do this certain thing to mint and create something else. Achievements are what you're outfitting your ape with, right? So what are you doing and how are you creating an ape to level yourself up? And level up meaning you're going to be able to unlock additional benefits. Maybe those benefits are utility based, maybe those benefits are trait based, but that is another level of gamification that we'll be introducing to the apes themselves. So we've got an asset based, which is the formulas, and we've got this activity based, which is the achievements. This is going to create another whole dynamic aspect of our project as it comes to our strategies. And we talk about strategies in here about whether you want to be a collector, you're going to collect and you're going to see where you're going, or whether you want to design apes and you're going to put them up for sale and become this dealer, or you're going to become a trader, right, where you're trading and swapping out traits. When we start talking about formulas and achievements, it's going to add another whole strategy. What apes are you going to work with that are going to be specifically related to creating formulas or working on the achievements? What apes am I going to work with that I'm going to create these apes, and maybe I'm going to put them up for sale because I'm going to build the best ape there is, and now it's ranked in the top 1,000 or the top 500, and it's an attractive entry into the project for somebody that wants something that is ranked higher. So it's going to really add a layer of strategy and how we're going to be talking through this and what's going to make sense. So I'm excited for this, and it's going to be super, super cool. It's something I've been hoping that we had out sooner, but you know what? We have to make sure it's right, and it's going to be really cool when it comes out because it's going to be fun. Cool. Her crypto. We got anybody else that wants to come up and ask a question? We've been going at this thing for about an hour.
No, I don't have any requests, and I know Tank said to raise your hand, but I can't bring you up if you raise your hand. What you have to do actually is hit that bottom left request button, and then we'll get the request and be able to bring you up on stage. But no, I don't have any requests. But yeah, we are going through. We have been going on for about an hour now, and I think we've touched on a lot of pretty much everything we had, except one thing I think left that I have on my notes. Tank, I don't know if you have anything else on
Yeah, no,
yours.
I just want to make sure that our community, our holders, the people that are playing the game understand that there's more gamification. The tokenomics are going to be expanding. The additional generation of methane for OG bulls, the pairing with our BOTB and our teens, pairing with our tokenized communities, because that's all coming. That's all right around the corner. Along with our trait ranks, which the dev team is working very hard on. So keep your eyes out. Things are going to start happening fast. It's just like kind of getting a wheel rolling down a hill. The longer the hill, the faster the wheel goes, the more it's going to come out. So start happening, you're going to start seeing regular drops with all of the cool additional gamification that we're bringing.
Was that like a physics example of the description of
That
momentum?
momentum. There you go. We're gaining momentum.
You were like, when the wheel is going downhill, I was like, this feels like I'm in physics class. Hold on. Lou, what's up? You got your hand up.
Yeah, no, and I apologize. I had a call on my other phone. Did you mention when we're going to be hearing more details released about, that kind of friction component and what all that's going to entail as far as, holdings of BAP assets versus others and accessing our meth because of that relationship?
Yes. So thank you for asking that, Lou, because that's important. So what Lou's specifically speaking of is through our community tokenization. For most of you that have been in the project for long term, you guys know that we have been adding regular communities every week, and we usually add communities on Tokenomics Tuesday, and we also add communities on our tokenization space, which we have on Thursday. So about 3 weeks, maybe it's been 4 weeks now, we had to take a step back and reevaluate what we were doing with tokenized communities and what it meant to be bringing these communities into our ecosystem. We've talked about this. Anthony mentioned it many times. We're expanding expanding the space. We want to cross pollinate into other communities. We want to bring communities in. We want our community to see other communities. It's all about growing this space. And a big part of doing that was Community Tokenization Initiative, which Her Crypto is 100% driving, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing for the ecosystem, been amazing for our project. But we saw that there was, certain holders maybe that had many assets and weren't necessarily engaging with our project. So we had to look at that and look at how it impacted our existing holders, right? Because yes, we want to reach out and we want to expand and we want to, grow this pie, but we also respect our holders, and we have a duty to our holders to make sure that we're doing everything that we can to make sure our BOTB and BAP assets are front and center. So part of what we're doing is we're going to be creating, Lou called it friction, but we're going to be creating a leveling system of holding assets to unlock and release the ability to harvest from your wallet. So for anybody that has, a certain level or amount of tokenized community NFTs, and that's all you have, it's not going to affect you. There's going to be a threshold that people are going to be able to come in, participate, harvest your methane, bring it into the apes collection, hopefully open some loot boxes if you've got an ape, make deals with other community members if they're looking for methane, whatever that case is. That's going to still have its use cases. But for the larger holders that have very large bags with multiple tokenized communities, because keep in mind, we're not stopping tokenizing our communities. We're going to continually add. And as we do, like me, I have a lot of tokenized communities. And so our bags are growing as far as the communities and the NFTs that we can utilize to harvest methane. So we're going to create these additional levels of these level requirements that are going to require you to hold a certain BAP or BOTB asset, and it's going to allow you to then harvest more tokenized communities. So we'll be publishing what that is. We'll be publishing how each individual asset in our collection, whether it be a BAP OG bull, whether it be a teen bull, whether it be a god bull, whether it be a BOTB asset being an OG, or a Evo or a bear, they're all going to work together, and what each of those NFTs will do to unlock and allow you to harvest even more tokenized communities. So the tech team is working on that. We're in the final stages of getting everything dialed in. So as soon as
So if I jump in, Tank Man, just what I'll say directly is that's coming after Rarity. So Rarity comes before that. That's getting a bigger priority than it. However, it's shortly thereafter. And what I would say is we're pretty close to dialed in on what the thresholds are. We just got to cross validate. Last things that we put together, some things that we put together today. I'll go out and say we'll announce the thresholds next Tuesday, and I'm hoping that we're going to be delivering shortly thereafter. And man, I'd love to have the guardrails in place for next Thursday's tokenization space. I mean, that's I'd love for that to happen. It's a possibility, but I can't make a promise on that. But that means that certainly for the week after, I would absolutely expect it to be in place. So I'll answer that a little bit more directly.
Thanks, Anthony, for doing that. I didn't want to say too much, but I appreciate you being on the space and being able to answer that direct. So thanks for doing that. And what's great about this is that means that we can start re-engaging and getting those communities that have been following us, engaging with us, tweeting at us, start looking at those communities and get the community tokenization back on track. All right, cool. I see a hand up. Who do we have a hand up there? Mo.
Yep, we got Mo. Mo, how are you?
Hi, Crypto. Hi, Tank Man.
Hey,
hello, everybody. Hey, I have a small question about the apes. Right now, I have my apes spread up in many different wallets because of the 4+ bonus that we was having during Mint. And I need to move them to the same wallet that I have my OG so I can pay them. For so far until now, I haven't moved them, but because the bonus hasn't, the 1+ bonus hasn't been put up yet. So I'm wondering if I move them to my Ape wallet, and now they're all in the same wallet than the wallet I meant, what would happen? What would the repercussion be? Because my 4 plus, are in different wallet than my OG. So
Right.
that's all I wanted to know, because I need to, since now that pairing is up, I need to pay them. I'm more interested in the meta production than the extra free loot box opening. So
That's a
is it
great question. Yes, perfect question. So I can answer two things that we know definitively. Number one, your additional loot box opening, and this is what we're speaking of, by the way. So let's refresh anybody in the audience that doesn't know. If you if you purchased 4 apes, you were given 4 additional bonus openings of a loot box. Now, those bonuses are wallet specific, so they don't follow the ape. So what we did was, after we announced that initiative, we took a snapshot when everybody did their purchases, and we identified the wallets that are going to get those bonuses, and it's a 4 max per wallet, so it'll be wallet specific. However, you have to have an ape in your wallet to be able to open a common loot box. So the expectation is that you're going to have an ape in there to be able to open the loot box, to be able to acquire those NFTs, because that's how the system works. But as far as losing those openings, you're not going to lose those openings if you move apes to another wallet, because it was wallet specific.
okay? That's good enough. So that means once it's active, and if I decided, I can always move back my ape to that wallet if I want to open that loot box. It'd be up to me to see if I want to take the gas fee and move it. Okay, all right, I got it. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks for the question. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much. Yeah. And I know that's a very common question. A lot of people have been asking, and everyone's trying to be very cautious as they move their apes around. So it's funny, actually. I'm going to have to split my apes up, because I have like a BAP wallet, and then I have a community tokenization wallet. So when our when our tokenization pairing goes live, I'll have to like put some apes over there.
Yeah,
Too.
I
So
know. You figure out what's going to work best. Strategies, right? Strategies.
I know. All right, we got Official Flight Club up on stage. What's going on, Flight Club? One of our amazing our certified community trade groups. Gosh, my brain just totally
I
fried that.
know. It's all of the work we've been doing. So, but we got it. We understood what you meant.
Flight Club, what's going on? Welcome to the stage.
Hey, how are you guys doing today? What's going on? How are you
Good,
guys
Cuffin. How
feeling?
you doing, man?
Pretty good. I just had a quick question that was brought up in one of my chats actually. So if you use the configurator, you're creating a new NFT. So technically, if you're paired to an ape, you're not able to do that, or is that a function that you can actually utilize?
Great question. So, if you take your ape that's been paired with one of your OG bulls and you remint it, then it will disconnect from that, and then you'll just need to go in and reassign that ape to that bull so that it can continue to generate. So, because that's what's happening is when you remint a new ape, when you go through the configurator to actually mint it, that's generating a new token ID. So you'll need to recreate that connection.
Okay, cool. I figured as much, but I did want to hear from the horse's mouth just to verify pretty much. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
worries.
that.
Cool. So I brought somebody up. I saw a request. Maybe I didn't get that person up. Oh, here, let me try again. Melissa was trying to come up, and I got. All right, cool. Capital City wants to come up. Let's get them up here and let's get some questions going.
Making their way to the stage.
Right.
Trying to make their way through all the people connecting, it says. Capital City, what's going on? You got up here first as Melissa finds her way. What's going on, Capital City?
That wild bull behind there. Wild Bill, you back there behind Capital City? Maybe, maybe not.
I see your mic off, but I can't hear you, buddy. Nope. I got nothing. Hang on. Maybe jump down and jump back up. Sometimes it happens. The Twitter
All right.
bugs. Flight Club, I know Melissa still can't quite get up on stage either. Flight Club, what's going on? You got your hand up.
Somebody in the Flight Club chat was just asking about the 4 loot boxes again. If you guys can reiterate on that, they say joined in late. They were trying to see if there was a time frame mentioned. I actually stepped away during that part too.
Yeah,
So.
no time frame mentioned yet. It is one of the items that is in queue for our tech team to make sure that we get on the website. The reason it's taking a little bit of time is because of how it's claimed. It's being claimed based on the wallet, not on the ape, right? So if it was just an ape based, then we could add it. But because it's a different function, that added UI has got to be put onto the website. They're working on that right now to make sure that they have that worked out and it's working correctly. And then once that happens, then everybody will have the opportunity. Once they log in, they'll have a prompt that'll say you have the ability to claim these additional box openings, and then there'll be a function to do that and open those up.
Cool,
yeah, no worries. Thanks. All right, Capital City, what's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I got you, Bill. What's going on, buddy?
All right, so just to piggyback off of what Flight Club just asked, when you remake the ape, do you have to collect the meth off of that bull? Are you gonna lose that meth when it unpairs?
That is a great question. I'm going to actually write that down, and we'll ask Dr. Yev to find out if that is going to affect that meth if it has not been claimed. So let me write that down, and I will get that answer for you, man. I appreciate the question.
Oof, Capital City coming out with a fire question.
And he's on it. I love it. Bill always gets a lot of good questions up there. All right. Any other questions? Are we good? I'd love to answer more questions if you guys have more questions.
I don't have any I muted everybody. Sorry. I just muted everyone and I was trying to get rid of that static. Oh, Melissa's going to try to come back up again. Hang on 2 seconds. Melissa is trying to connect. Not sure what's going on there, if it's on her side or our Twitter Space side. So hopefully she's making her way up to the stage. So while she does, that's the only other request we have to come up, Tank.
Yeah, I think that's all I have as far as the gamification and tokenomics. I know that you've got another announcement that we want to make, right?
That's right, we do. We've got another little bit of alpha to drop for you guys. It got tweeted out, and I've seen some people already commenting on it and replying. We're really excited because last week we announced our official IRL mega meetup happening in Las Vegas on May 20th. And tonight we get to announce our IRL Godbull event, Godbull Live event. It's our second one. It's going to be happening also in Vegas on May 18th and 19th. So that went out. So that is the announcement for that, because yes, we are doing another IRL Godbull live event. And Tank, I know you, Anthony, Lou here on stage was also at that event. We're really looking forward to this. If you guys thought the last event was full of a lot of fun and thrills, you have no idea what's coming,
Holy
man.
cow, are we stepping it up for this event? Everybody saw that we did the race cars. That was super cool. We had a great time. It was amazing to hang out with some awesome community members. It's very limited. It's going to be 8 holders only. The same thing we did before. So we're not expanding how many people are going to be able to come. It'll be eight selected spaces available. But what we're doing is so crazy and cool. We're going to be doing some things I've never done before, and I'm super pumped and excited for it. It's going to be blast, you guys. It's going to be definitely something to remember, and that we're going to be talking about for a very long time. And I don't say that lightly. I know I'm the pump guy, man. I talk about stuff and I get so excited about things. But really, what we're doing with the In Real Life Godbull event is going to be really, really cool this next go around, and you guys will not be disappointed. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. We'll have the information about when those tickets are going to go on, when they're going to go for sale, and what the price will be, because that's going to be a question we're going to be asked. It will be very similar to what we did before. So we say the 18th The 18th is the evening, so we'll be getting together for cocktails, having a discussion, meeting up, talking. That'll be fun. But Friday, the 19th, it is a full day. And when I say full day, we're talking full day. We are cramming the cool stuff in to this event that is going to be literally off the hook, crazy fun. So yeah, full day, and then you'll have a chance to sleep in on the morning of this Saturday morning. Hopefully, everybody gets a chance to sleep in, and we're going to be doing our in real life community event Saturday evening. That's going to be a blast as well. Her Crypto and I have been working with our event coordinator, coordinating that, getting the event space up, and really having getting ready to have a lot of fun to get together with our broader community that night to do some networking, just get a chance to meet you guys, shake your hands, say thank you for being part of our community. And we're really, really excited about that as well. So it's going to be 3 days of some pretty crazy, cool fun. And we're super pumped to be in Vegas and doing this with you guys.
Yeah, basically just don't sleep. Like I don't know. I'm just not gonna I think you should definitely sleep between the 18th and 19th because the amount, like you said, all of the jam-packed activity and all of the things happening. I mean, when I say adrenaline pumping, oh my God, I'm like
Yeah,
not kidding.
adrenaline.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys, the race car was adrenaline, but what we're going to be doing, it doesn't hold a candle to that. It's going to be crazy. Oh my God, it's going to be so fun. And it's going to be hard to sleep. I'm kind of already getting the feelings of Christmas morning, something's cool is going to happen. You can't sleep and you can't wait to wake up to experience it. Um, it's going to be on that level. It's going to be really, really cool. So we're excited about it. And we're going to give you guys some hints. We hinted, dropped some hints before because I'm sure everybody's been like, well, wait a minute. We want to know what we're doing. We want to at least have an idea. Stay tuned. We'll drop some hints about what it is that we're going to be doing, and it's going to be really, really cool. So yeah, I have a question. So Melissa just DM'd me. So let's answer this question here. Had a comment about meth loss when moving apes or bulls from one wallet to another. Okay. Also, if a bull, ape, or BOTB would need to be in a wallet with community tokenization NFTs in order to continue to collect meth. So let me expand on that again. Yes, you will have to have a BAP or BOTB asset to harvest methane, but after a certain threshold. So we're not going to lock everybody out. There's going to be a threshold number of tokenized community NFTs that you're going to be able to harvest methane from without having to hold one of our NFTs. But to level yourself up to be able to start harvesting from multiple NFTs in your wallet, there's going to be a requirement to hold our NFTs in your wallet, and that's going to unlock certain amounts. And each NFT is going to have a different amount. So an OG will unlock a certain amount. Your teens will unlock a certain amount. BOTB assets will unlock a certain amount. So combinations of those will give you more. So if you're already a holder and you're like, well, I already have a couple OGs, but I've got a whole bunch of BOTB. BOTB is part of our company. That's an amazing, awesome NFT, and it's part of us. So that is going to qualify and will unlock those other community NFTs to be able to harvest from. So hopefully that answered your question, Melissa, but sorry you couldn't get up, but thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Yay. I'm so glad that she got to DM you and send you that because I was like, no, we kept trying to bring her up and it just was not working. So glad that you got that information. And it as well is, I'm sure, a common question and something that we forgot to touch on. So yep. So the only other thing that I had in the nest there that I wanted to draw attention to for everyone here in the audience is if you scroll over, we do have a town hall tomorrow. And that is here on Twitter. It's a Twitter space. If you're not familiar, our town hall is our version of an AMA. As Tank was just talking about, Bulls on the Block, our BAP universe encompasses the Bulls and Apes project as well as the Bulls on the Block fam. So this is the place to come and get all your updates, get more of these amazing words, another Anthony montage, and hear from him about everything that's going on, hear from the team about updates as far as tech releases, anything else we have going on, as well as a whole BOTB section of updates that Tank will usually run us through. So be sure to click set reminder, join us for that tomorrow. It is our later one. We do alternate. So one town hall we have early in the US time day, but that way to catch a lot of our friends across the pond in different time zones. This one is a later one, so it's going to be at uh, 7 Central. And make sure to click set reminder for that. It is there in the nest. Also, if you guys, we've been talking about the configurator a lot. Tank has been talking about all of the ways that you can use these traits, and we talk about it. And it's one of those things that's really amazing. It's so cool, but it's just completely different when you, one, experience it yourself, and two, get to really see it in action. It is such a visual thing. It's so cool. And this is actually a really neat little video because it shows the equipping. It doesn't show quite the UI UX like the interface, but we have had some of that video out. And stay tuned. We're going to be putting more of those things out here soon. But there is a tweet pinned up there from our co-founder Guy, and he just minted an amazing looking ape using the configurator, and you can see the step-by-step process of how he went through putting the different traits on, equipping and de-equipping. So be sure that you hit that tweet, drop your apes in there that you've been creating, and we as well have the configurator as a hashtag, and that is how we are selecting our ape of the week. So last week we posted an amazingly designed ape that was really, really cool. The guy looked like he
So
looks
cool.
like he's ready to take over a
Oh my
world.
God. That's like one of those NFTs that when you're in a project that you hope you mint, right? It's like, oh my God, if I minted something like that, that'd be so cool because it is so freaking cool. He made it. He created it. That's great. I love it.
I know, I agree. I think I agree. It looks like something that you would hope to mint, and then you get to create it. And so, as you are playing in the configurator and you are creating these different apes, be sure that you're tweeting it out. And if you haven't gotten in the configurator, we've made it super simple for you to tweet it out. There's an easy button. You just click, and it will share automatically to your Twitter, and it will even be sure to give you the hashtag the configurator, and so that way we see and it gets pulled in as we're scrolling through, looking through all of the different apes being designed. Um, I really think it might be our space. I'm not sure. Spring is trying to come up on stage. Spring, we got your request, trying to bring you up here. I know Cuffin with Flight Crew is on the stage, so if she doesn't come up, hopefully maybe she can send you a message about what she was wanting to ask or say. And then we've got one more person who's requested to come up.
Ness, right?
Yep.
Yeah, hello, good evening, everyone.
Hey, good evening. How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. I'm a long time, well, I'm a day one holder. And
Nice.
I've been hanging out. I got all kinds of, it's been fun playing with the apes and everything, but just a curious question, maybe slash suggestion. I mean, you get a lot of these traits in your wallet and whatnot, and some people either don't have time and they're just not creative. Like I myself, I am not a creative person to sit there and go through all it. How hard would it be to have an option where you could even randomize what you have into your wallet through the configurator, just spit out different options at you, if you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, like it would be like a randomizer,
Yeah,
right? So you could say, click the button and say randomize, and maybe it picks some really cool combinations and automatically throws it together so you can see what it looks like.
exactly. Out of what you have in your wallet, it just kind of flicks through and it puts different eyeballs in with different skins, just for the non-artistic people or the people that just don't have time to sit there and play with it as much, right? Just an
I love
idea.
that.
It's just something that popped up as we were talking here.
I'm writing that down, and this is great stuff. It's as our community, you specifically start diving in and playing with it. We've developed it, and we've been thinking about this for months and months and months. But it's cool to have a different perspective when somebody coming in from the outside that hasn't done it, and they start doing it, and then all of a sudden you come up with this idea of it would be really cool if I could let the system kind of come up with a combination and see how that looks versus me having to go through each one, and maybe that could be a combination that would be something you'd want to mint. So I like that idea. Let's I'm gonna put it in my my list here of suggestions for our dev team. I'm gonna actually type it up here to Yev and say, hey, what do you think of this? So and we'll see. I mean, you never know. Maybe it is something that would work and be really, really cool.
Sweet. Thank you very much for having me up for these minutes.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good night. All right, Cuffin, did Spring shoot you a message? Tell you what she wanted to ask, or
No, but that
Oh,
question just jotted a question for me. So I was thinking, is there any possibility in the future of us seeing like a trait re-rock, like another like you pay 600, you can put it in a machine, it shoots out another random trait, maybe for people who didn't like the initial trait, maybe giving a reason to recirculate some more methane also.
Yeah, we're getting some good ideas here.
A
Damn, loving it.
respin. So you basically get an opportunity to do a respin of some kind. That's interesting. If you want to spend the money, you don't like it, and you're like, man, I'd be willing to spend X number to just get a respin and try this over. Hmm.
Yeah, some
I
good
know,
ideas.
Anthony. These look
Some
great, huh?
yeah, some good ideas. Some good ideas.
I love this. Cool. Keep them coming. And by the way, we do have a suggestion channel in our Discord. So if you guys have ideas, we get in there and look at them. We review suggestions. We've had some amazing suggestions, even things that we've either used or tweaked because it gave us another springboard idea, and we're like, oh, if we take that and do something else, this could be really cool. So please get in there, drop some suggestions in Discord, and yeah, we'll definitely look at it and see if it's something that makes sense. Cool.
that's right. The suggestion box is your friend. We don't always get to reply to every suggestion in there, but we are reading it, we note it, and we talked about it. And Carter just requested to come up. Carter, what's going on?
What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Very good. What's going on?
Just walking home from the office, just in the last final little stretch, listening to those ideas with the traits, and it jolted my mind. I know we're doing the burns of certain ones to get new traits that you can't get out of the boxes, which is super cool. I was wondering if it would be possible to, like, if you had 10 common traits, I want to burn my 10 common traits to get, like a 20% chance at upgrading to an epic or a legendary, or I just get another one common back. So you'd be able to burn 10 or whatever the number is, plus some meth, to get like a re-roll with a better chance of like upgrading those 10 commons to an epic or a legendary. And you could have, whatever the numbers are, but I'm just throwing out those numbers. So instead of just
Right,
like
right,
burning
right. So
certain ones, like crafting materials, you just burn them randomly.
right. Well, that kind of goes along with what we talked about for what this tool is going to provide. We're talking about formulas. So if you think about it, it's a formula, right? You're putting things together to get something better. So I mean, I get what you're saying is you're thinking that you actually utilize those traits to better your odds at getting something at a higher rate. Whether it be a respin or something of that nature. That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. I'm going to write that down. I want to bring something up though, because I think this is really cool where you guys are going with this, and especially with the burning. And we talked about this with formulas. I mentioned earlier when we were talking about how some people are looking at these traits and they're minting a number of a similar trait. I've done it. I've minted a couple of the same one. And I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. I've got two of these. Am I going to use them both? Or, you're looking at the quantity of something. You're going, wow, that's a pretty high quantity. That's a lot. When we start looking at, is that really a rare trait? Well, as we start to create these formulas, you could see the possibility that something that is plentiful now, as the game is played with formulas, that plentiful trait could become very rare, right? So how this gamification is going to work, this works along with strategy, is are people going to gravitate towards these formulas and collecting common traits, maybe not common traits, whatever that formula is. And the more it's played, is that now going to, make some of those commons now even more rare, because you have something that has a very large quantity. The next thing you know, it's down to single digits just because people are utilizing it as part of the gamification to get something else. And now all of a sudden, the strategy is, do I hold on to this because holy cow, there's only a couple of these left, and it was maybe even a retired trait, so that's never going to be minted again. So that's going to be really fun in the gamification, and how this project and our community looks at the strategies and how they determine what becomes rare, because the community has control over this. We're going to set a certain amount. We're going to create these formulas. We're going to create achievements. We're going to retire certain traits. Every trait's going to get retired eventually once it's minted itself out. And then where does the community then take it from there and then create rarity based on the burning function or whatever they're doing with those traits. So it's going to be fun to see how this develops. And like I said, 2 weeks in, It's just the beginning. We're baby steps right now, and give us 2 months, give us 3 months, and really deep into the game, we're going to really see some really, really cool stuff out there. All right, any more questions?
That kind of unlocked another question that I have.
Sure.
I'm wondering, is there a certain limit on the traits that you can get from the different like crafting and the achievements? So is it like a race? Like, oh, there's only 10 crazy hairs, but I need to get one of each color hair and get the rainbow before everybody else gets it. Is there going to be like the race to the finish?
Yeah, look at you, man. Already thinking ahead. We'll give more details. We will give more details.
Amazing.
Yep.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that.
So yeah, I love how you're thinking about that. But yeah, definitely, right? Because it's not going to be unlimited. It's going to be a certain amount. So let's see where we go with it. Cool stuff. All right, Her Crypto. Hey,
we got. I know.
Yeah.
Cuffin's got his hand up. Cuffin.
Yeah, Cuffin, what's up, man?
Sorry about this. Last one, I promise. And, this one is, I guess, for the team, just a widespread question that I get asked often. And I've actually had a couple of people that were trying to figure out this strategy. The name of the game is Methane Token within the actual project itself. So, what do you feel like is the biggest use for Methane Token, or what should be the strategy to do with Methane Token that you can tell to newer investors that it kind of entice them to want to come into the ecosystem?
That's a great question, because we've talked about, methane being the lifeblood of our ecosystem, right? And we saw that through bulls, and there's still a few teams that need to be minted, so methane's going to be used there. The God Bulls, anybody that has a God Bull, they're still opening loot boxes, and now that we're into the pairing game, people will probably be looking for replenishments. So there's going to be a use case for more of the God Bull holders to be utilizing. So that's of course not somebody new coming in, but just talking about in general the use cases. Right now, the use case is opening common loot boxes to be able to play the game with the apes. Whether that be acquiring an ape on the floor and then utilizing your methane that you're generating, not necessarily through a BAP OG, but you could have a tokenized community. You could have a whole bunch of assets in your tokenized community. You could purchase an ape, and then utilize the methane that you're generating to then play the game with the ape without having to hold, a BAP. Of course, the BAP or BOTB asset's going to give you more, but that may not be a strategy. And then we talked about future plans. Anthony alluded to it earlier tonight, that we are doing brand expansion, but just because we're focusing on brand expansion in 2023 doesn't mean that we stop innovating and releasing product. We've hinted and talked about, the future mints that are coming and the additional use cases that are going to be, brought into our project and ecosystem. So we're building, we're innovating, we're bringing new technology and new ideas to the space. That's not stopping. We have some brilliant minds in our project that are creating some really crazy cool stuff. The apes was a very long road. We started developing the apes back when we minted the bulls, and started other ideas have been coming in along the way. So I know that's not a direct answer, but I guess the answer to anybody that's coming to the ecosystem is check out our cool dynamic NFT. Right now, there are deals to be made on the floor in OpenSea. If somebody wants to come in and give us a chance, you could pick up an ape on the floor right now, cheaper than you could mint, and you could take your tokenized NFTs that you hold in your wallet, generate that free methane, and come play the game. Come mint some NFTs. You never know. Maybe you're going to open up a common loot box and mint yourself a legendary trait and be able to put that in your ape, and now have an ape that's instantly ranked higher than any sitting on the floor right now. So there's a lot of strategy there and a lot of opportunity. And as soon as people figure out that opportunity is there, it's going to be fun to watch where our project's going.
Okay, thank you. I definitely appreciate you answering that question. I know you guys recorded this, and I wanted to kind of steer people towards the recording to get the answer that they be kind of seeking. So thank you.
Cool, appreciate it.
All right, we've got Eddie is trying to make his way to the stage. Eddie Turner, he usually comes up too and has some great questions, and But I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on, but we can't seem to get people on stage right now, and I know there's room. So it's got to be something, I don't know, maybe in the connection, a Twitter glitch, maybe there's a new update. I have no idea what's happening. Eddie, sorry, keep trying to bring you up. Maybe you can DM Tank your question. Let's see, we're trying to add him again.
Yep.
I love it. I'm loving all these ideas and all this like creative juices flowing. So
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love it. And that, man, I mentioned earlier that we have a super smart team, but I that can't go without saying that we have a super smart freaking community. I mean, the community that's here playing the game and the ideas that they come up with, I love it. It's awesome. It adds value to the overall project when you have a community that's so engaged like they are. And I love a community like this. It's great.
I know, I agree. Eddie, it's not connecting. It's just spinning and spinning, buddy. Oh my gosh. I hate this kind of thing. You just want to like fix it somehow.
Yeah.
We know.
Hey, Eddie, try leaving the room, coming right back in. We'll stay. We won't go anywhere because I know you want to get up on stage. Try leaving the room, coming back in. Let's see if that works real quick. And watching him down there to see if he's going to take off. He's like, I want to get up on stage.
Sounds like I know. Yeah, it's gonna be. But anyway, what's up? What's up, Cuff? Cuffin's got his hand
I think
up.
I got one of the questions. Is there any NTA to when we're going to have something change with the incubators? Because I know you guys said you're going to put some into circulation for the ones that haven't been minted yet. Doesn't seem like they're buzzing too much.
Yeah, no.
People mint your teens.
So
Yeah.
the strategy that we're gonna do with that, we pulled 50 aside, just in case, as a just in case, and I don't think we're at that point yet. Officially, we're given 2 years to mint those out, so I'm not quite ready to make that call yet. Although I am gonna start going and looking at. You just reminded me because I want to go start looking at the wallets and see who's hoarding these incubators.
Okay,
And if
wait. Okay,
I'm gonna start twisting some arms.
I have 2 in my wallet. I'm guilty.
I would say I see
guilty.
people in this space that I know have them. I'm
Yeah,
talking to you.
Me too. I've heard the rumors, so I got to go look at the wallets.
Yeah. Do you have any, Anthony?
I don't think so.
You don't know.
Oh my gosh, he laughs. I don't think.
I laugh because I think my daughter has one actually.
I love that. Yeah, I'm guilty as charged. I just looked right now. We actually have 169 teams that still need to be minted. You know what's crazy about that? I don't know why I'm waiting. It's not that I want to be last, but have you ever had a box of cookies and you're like mowing down the cookies and you're like, oh, it's awesome, and then you get down to like the last. Like especially Oreos for me, right? So I got a package of Oreos and I'm mowing down the Oreos. And then you get to the last handful and you just make them last a little bit longer because, there's just few of them left, right? So you have no problem with powering down, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them at a time until you get down to the last few. You're like, oh man, I haven't gone to the store. Okay, I'm going to only have 2 today. That way I have 2 tomorrow. I think that's where my mentality is. It's almost like I got these 2 incubators in my wallet. I'm just going to wait a little bit longer. Stupid me, I know that there's some cool teens still there. I mean, there's some rare teens still to be minted, and they haven't been minted yet. So I just gotta get off the dime and do it. I'm telling you, I need to do it. I need to lead by example, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got called out. Dang it.
Yeah, you and your other friends in here. Listen, all right, Eddie, it worked. He left. He came back. I mean, no pressure. But what's going on, Eddie? What do you have to say? What's your question?
So I had I represent the Flight Club, by the way. So you know how you're saying you can take trades to get, maybe combine them to get a trade that's not being able to be bought or minted. Is there a way to make a treasure hunt game out of it for like a legendary trait where you don't tell us what combination of traits we need, some type of epic trait, and then every week you drop hints, and then it turns it into a game for the first person to figure that out, and then they get like a spectacular trait because they figured out like maybe a 10 trait legendary combination trait, and then every other week you give a hint to what it may be, and then the first person to figure out that combination gets something special.
So I don't want to give out too much information, but you're kind of talking about what we call achievements. That's leveling up. So it's yeah. I don't want to give out too much information, but man, you're really dialing in on some of that fun gamification that we're going to have of leveling up, creating these achievements, which is collecting certain things and then unlocking the next thing. So we've got we've got one aspect of the gamification that I talked about, which was formulas. Right? We have very specific formulas. You can create that formula and you get something. Then we've got these achievements, which is going to be a little bit more unknown, where you're going to do certain things and you're going to unlock something, and then it's going to be the community talking about it. About, okay, holy crap, I just did this and look what happened. That's going to be fun gamification as well. So those are things that are going to happen in the formulas and the achievements that we've been talking about. Cool.
All right, 247 just jumped up. 247, how are you?
Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm good. Thank you for asking. Hey Tankman, I have a question. Is it possible that we can use the methane bank to transfer between each other?
We already have that function, don't we, Anthony? I've never used it, but we have a methane transfer function already.
Yeah, I've used it on the site. Yeah, there's a next to where it has your total methane.
Yeah.
Like
I'm talking from the bank, the methane bank, so we don't pay gas.
Oh, from the bank. That's interesting.
No, we don't have anything like that.
We don't have that. But,
yeah. I mean, but it's something that probably devs can do some magic there.
Yeah. No, I'm sure. Let's add that to the list. A lot of good ideas tonight.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right, man. Thank you, man. That's pretty much it. And thank you for everything you guys doing, man. I'm here for man. You guys got me back here, man. I'm already collecting more bulls.
That's awesome. Thanks, man. That's good. That means we're doing our job, right?
Definitely, man. When you guys escaped from me really quick, you guys went to 1E, and I was like, damn,
Yeah, it's ebbs and flows in the space, right? That's why I said,
now we're back, man. It's a good level entry right now.
Oh, it's such a good level entry, right? I mean,
yes, it is.
We know what we're delivering, right? Anthony talked
Evil
about.
Bear is back in my shoulder, so I'm back.
There you go, Evil Bear back. I know. Have we minted an Evil Bear for the apes yet? Is that in the question?
I haven't, but I seen 3. I think JL2 has one, and then I think it's Sub-Zero who has the one with the glowing eyes.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so they're out there. They're getting minted. That's so cool.
All right, guys. Cool. Thank you, man. That's pretty much it.
Thanks.
Bye.
You. All right, Her Crypto. I don't see any more requests. I appreciate all the questions. You guys are amazing. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us for the last hour and 40 minutes. If you guys have any more questions or suggestions, definitely get into Discord. Throw those suggestions in there. If you have questions, our amazing team in Discord is there to help out. Feel free to jump in there, ask questions. My DMs are open. They're a little full right now, but I try to get through them all. So you guys can always shoot me a DM. And of course, every Tuesday we do Tankonomics as we get more of our product out and more of the gamification and everything that we're doing. We'll start diving into the achievements and the formulas and giving more details about what that is and have a lot more to talk about. But in the time being, keep building those apes, keep creating some amazing NFTs because you guys are so creative. And I'm super pumped with what I'm seeing. This has been so much fun. But thank you guys so much for coming and spending time with us. We really value your time and we appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with Her Crypto and Anthony and I. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much for coming and hang out. Make sure you're clicking set reminder up there. Join us tomorrow for our town hall. That's right. We got our AMA tomorrow. That's where you're going to come and hear all the tech updates, the Bulls on the Block updates, everything we have for you guys. Thank you guys so much. We love you. We'll see you tomorrow. Without you guys, we couldn't be here. Vegas, IRL events are happening. Make sure you guys have tuned in to the Alpha Alerts. We're going to send you announcements and give you more information for that as we have it. Have a good night. good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you are. Bye.
All right, so that was the space. Hopefully you guys are paying attention. Definitely got a lot of different material to go over as far as in the space that we're gonna have in the next 18 minutes that will be booting up. So definitely tune into that. If you have any questions, concerns, thoughts at all, man, hit me in the DM or pop into the next stream we do have. I'm gonna cut this one now. Then I'm going to head into the Discord and said I was going to meet and talk for a little bit. Then we're going to get into this space within the next 20 minutes or so. And you guys are more than welcome to join, ask whatever questions you guys have. Other than that, man, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, day, evening, wherever you guys are. I'm out here.